Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some affordable brushes, and they're all specific to something. I do have a few of them, so you can find these at Ulta, but on the drugstore side, you can find these at Walgreens, at Walmart, wherever they sell them. I will kind of let you know where I got them from too, but they're pretty much drugstore brands except for one of them. So you know, it's not a drugstore brand, but it's still an affordable brand. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. By the way, if you notice that my finger is purple, you're not seeing things. It is. I even have a cut on this side. I know it looks gross. I shouldn't be showing you. Or even putting my hands close to my brushes. I know it looks gross. But I got my finger stuck in a table that I was trying to help out set up. Help set up. You get what I'm saying. Okay, the first brush is this one by Real Techniques, which, by the way, I always ask you guys what videos you want to see, and this one was a requested video to do an affordable favorite brushes. And these aren't like, it's not like I have a set of favorite affordable brushes and a set of high-end. No, these are just my favorite, the ones that I use every single time I do my makeup. This very first one is my buffing brush, and I use this for two things. I use it for foundation, which is what I love. Now, I use it for two different things on a different time. You know, I don't use them. Let me just tell you, I use this for foundation, and I also have used it for bronzer, and I love it for both, but I mainly love it for foundation. It is a foundation brush. Well, it's called buffing brush. This is by Real Techniques, and it comes in the pack of 4. There are 4 brushes. I'm going to show you another one of the orange ones, but this one is one that I absolutely love for my This one is the best foundation brush, in my opinion, out there. So if you're looking for a great affordable foundation brush, go to Ulta. I don't know where else they sell Real Techniques. Where else do they sell? No, they sell it everywhere now. I've seen it at Walmart too. So Walmart, I don't know about Target, but Walmart, Ulta, and Walgreens, they sell Real Techniques. So that's where you're gonna find this buffing brush. I got it in a pack. I don't know if they sell it individually, but I will let you know. Next up is my e.l.f. small stipple brush, and it is a stipple brush. You can use it for many things. I use it to remove the baking powder that I use on my under eye area or anywhere else that I apply the loose powder. So what I do is I cake on a whole bunch of powder wherever I want to bake, which is mainly on the lower parts of my eyes and the highlighting areas. And then after a few minutes, I remove it, and I remove it with this. So this is the way that it looks right now. It is called e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush. That is what it is how it looks. And it is very soft. It hasn't really shed. I washed it a lot of times. It's great, and I think it cost about $3 if I'm not wrong. Next up is another e.l.f. brand brush, and this one is the blending eye brush. That's what this one is called, but it is very tiny, and I do use it as a blending brush. So I'm just gonna give you a little tip. This is a blending brush, but normally you see blending brushes looking like this, super extra fluffy. This is another one of my favorites. We'll get to that in a minute, but they usually look like this. But if you have hooded eyes, I mean, I guess it could be for anybody, but I'm speaking from experience because my eyes, you know, they go in a lot, so my crease is not really there. I mean, it's there, but it's really in there. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let me reword that. If your eyes are anything like mine, hooded eyes, you know, just, you know, they kind of go down like right here. One of these brushes, you know, using one of these brushes is going to make a mess. It's just going to make a mess. Now, I do love it for certain things, don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to be using a dark eyeshadow like I'm doing today, like I used today, I use dark eyeshadow on my crease area. I go in with a tiny blending brush, and I go over and over and over and over, buffing it out or blending it out pretty much like I would do with the regular big fluffy brush. But it is just small enough to where it doesn't get all messy. So I would really recommend you get a smaller brush. I know it's very popular to see big fluffy brushes to blend out your eyeshadows, but that doesn't always work for everybody. So just know that this one would be a great buy, and I'm pretty sure this is $1, if not $2, probably $2. And I got this from Walmart, and again, it's the e.l.f. brand. So I use this today to blend out the dark brown color that I have on the outer part of my eyes. Next up, I'll just go ahead and show you my fluffy brush. This is the only one that I wanted to let you know that it's not drugstore, but this is just an affordable brush video. This one is by Morphe, and it is called M511. I did get it at a makeup show, so it's not, I didn't order it online, so I have zero experience with online purchasing from Morphe, but I got it at a makeup show, and I wanted to see, you know, what brushes they had, and they did have a ton of them. I picked up one of these because It is supposedly similar to one of the MAC ones. I don't even know. But anyways, this is the M511 and I love to use this for a transition color. So the light brown that you see on my eyes was blended out with this. Like I apply it, blends it out with this little baby, and it works out just fine. So it doesn't create a mess just because that's the transition color. That's the color that I want to show up above my crease, and you know, the one that I'm using to blend out. Anytime I want to apply a transition color, it's usually a warm brown or a very light brown. I use this so it doesn't really make a mess just because, yeah, it's a fluffy brush, but the eyeshadow that I'm using is not very dark. So like I said, dark eyeshadow if your eyes are like mine, and your light eyeshadow that won't make a mess, really. Not really. And by the way, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I have been baking my highlighting area. Okay, and here's something else that has nothing to do with the video, but if you have trouble highlighting below your eyebrows, sometimes whenever I do the highlighting, I feel like I don't really see the eyeshadow, and I don't really like to use a glittery eyeshadow. Sometimes I have and I like it, but most of the time, like especially for like an everyday type of makeup look, I don't want to use anything shimmery below my eyebrow to do the highlighting. So what I have been doing is I apply the MAC Paint Pot in the color Painterly. You can use whatever eyeshadow base you want, you can use concealer, whatever. But what I do is I apply the eyeshadow, whatever eyeshadow is that I'm going to use, I apply a lot of it. So pretty much like you're using a loose powder, but I'm using an eyeshadow, and I let it sit there, and I continue blending out the rest of my eyeshadow. I put my crease color, I do the blending, blah blah blah, and then I remove all the loose powder, and it stays very light and highlighted. So that's just a little tip I want to give you guys if you want to try it out. So if you ever have problems with, you know, having that color show up, or maybe you're growing out your eyebrows and your eyebrows are super bushy but you want it to look clean, do the baking method underneath your eyebrows. I know it sounds a little crazy. I've never seen anybody do that. I'm just telling you that I tried it because I hated not being able to see the light color. Sometimes I like it very light here and then very light on my eyelid area. So now I just apply a ton of it, and then after a few minutes, after I'm done blending out the crease colors, I take it off and it looks like this. I just wanted to throw that out there. I know it makes the video a little bit longer, but it's just a little tip. You know what I mean? It's helpful. Hopefully it's helpful. If it's not, then ignore it. But we're going to move on to the rest of the brushes. The next one that I have been loving is the contour brush, and I've actually been using it for contouring. So I used to use this for what was it? I used to use this one to highlight. What I like about this brush is that it also blends out at the same time that I'm applying it. I do have a Lorac brush that I like to use that came with my contour kit that's very precise, but that gives me kind of like a line. So whenever I want to blend that out, I use this one to go over it. I apply a little bit more of the dark bronzer or dark contour powder, and then I start blending it out, and it works out perfectly. So this one is the contour brush, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong, it came with this and two other brushes. So the next brush is another e.l.f. brush, and this one is the eye crease brush, and I use it just for that. Again, this is another one of those small brushes. I like to use this one to deposit the color on my crease area. It's not the same thing as a blending brush. This is the one that I showed you earlier. It's not the same thing because this one's a little bit bigger and it does the blending. This one doesn't do much of the blending, pretty much just deposit. And since I like to sometimes go all the way over here, my eyes are very small. So this is a great brush for it to fit, you know, pretty much in the inner part of my eyes, or going towards the inner part whenever I want. Kind of like the halo eyes, but not really. No, the halo eyes would be doing it in the corner. But if I wanted to do that, actually, I could fit it in there. And, you know, I don't have a lot of space down here. I feel like I have a ton up here. Does that sound weird? I know it does, but I don't really have, you know, a lot of room to work with on the eyelid area. So you do need smaller brushes. You always have to work with your eyes, work with the shape of your eyes. Don't feel like just because you see someone using something that it's going to work out for you, because then you're going to end up with a whole bunch of mess. And I've learned this over time because I've made the mistakes of feeling, you know, oh, I'm going to do it just like that and it's going to work out for me, and then I end up looking like a clown. So just make sure that you're working with your eyes and your eye shape, so that way you can find the perfect brushes for you. Hopefully this is helpful. All right, so next brush is the setting brush, and I used to use it for that, but now I use it for the highlighting, just up here above my cheeks. So nothing special. I was using this one for that, but now I'm using this one, and I hate going back and forth, but I kind of want to show you everything in detail. So this is the brush that I'm using now for highlight, and it fits perfectly right here. It does a little bit of blending, and that's what I apply my highlight powder with. And this one is an angled brush. This is also by Real Techniques. Again, I got it in a pack of 4 or 5, something like that. And I use this one to do my lower lash line, like the lower lash line, the eyeshadow that I put on underneath. And what I like about it is that it's very stiff. And so because it's stiff, it just fits perfectly and it doesn't make a mess because it's not like blending out or anything. It's just applying the color. So if it's a dark color like I have on the lower part, it's kind of dark there. I did apply just a little bit, so I go in with this, and then if I need to blend it out, I use a small brush like this one, which is the one that I use. I just use that to blend it out on the bottom. So yeah, this is the brush that I showed you earlier that I also used for the top, but this is the one that I like to use to apply the color, like just to, you know, put it in there, because again, I don't want to make a mess, and it's just easier whenever I use something like this. So this is an angled brush. This one is called a brow brush. This is the fine liner brush, and it's another one from Real Techniques. And I love this brush for my wing. I used it today. And what I used it with is my Tarteist clay paint liner. And it is a super, super black eyeliner. At first, I did not like it. And I didn't like it because of the brush that I was using it with. I wasn't sure what it was, that it wasn't working with me. I was like, what is it? What is it? What is it? It does come with a brush. It's this one right here. But this doesn't make it that easy to apply. At first, it was okay. Like, I tried it out and it just wasn't giving me the wing that I wanted on the outside. I don't know why, and it has nothing to do with it being angled. I don't know what it is, but I don't really like it with this brush. I prefer it 100 times better with this one. It just makes it so much easier. I can get the color, I can apply it where I want it, and I can even do like a little wing to where it's not too dark on the outside. I felt like with the other brush, it was just making it too thick on the outside. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can, but I like it to look a little bit thinner on the ends. And yeah, you can clean it up with a Q-tip or something like that, but if you don't want to like do all that stuff, you gotta find a brush that you really like, and this one is perfect with this eyeliner. So if you're wondering why you don't like this, if you have it and you don't like it, it's probably the brush. Try it out with a different eyeliner brush. And I used to not really use this for anything. I just had it there until I tried it out. I was like, let me just try it. And I guess I didn't because it's kind of long. So I don't know, it feels like you don't have any control. But with the clay, it makes it a little harder. Like, it makes the brush get stiffer, but it's not in a bad way to where it's not gonna do the wing. It does a perfect wing. Just make sure that you wash the brush before you apply it, because then it's gonna stay stiff. Like, this one's dirty, so it's kind of hard. So yeah, it's not gonna work like that, but if you wash it first and then you use it, the wing comes out perfectly. So I would really recommend this brush. This one, like I said, is called Fine Liner Brush, and it is by Real Techniques. Alright, so the last one is not a brush, it's actually a sponge, and it is my Real Techniques sponge. I don't like this for foundation at all. I feel like it doesn't do the same thing as my Beauty Blender. Now, it's okay, it's fine, so I guess I shouldn't say at all, but I love it for baking. So I use this pretty much only for powder, and I use it to apply the highlighting loose powder. And I use this side, which is the angled flat side, to do the contouring areas, and this is magic. This is perfect for the loose powder baking method, and I would really recommend that sponge for that. So if you don't like it whenever it's wet, because it doesn't feel the same way as the Beauty Blender, or it doesn't, you know, blend in your foundation or whatever it is, or even if you do like it for foundation, just try it with the loose powders to do the baking method. You don't have to wet it if you don't want to. I don't wet it all the time, and it works out fine. I know whenever you do the baking method, it's great to have it a little bit damp. So what I do is I'll apply my foundation, then I'll apply my concealer, and I'll apply my concealer and blend it out with my Beauty Blender, and I go in with this right after when it's still tacky, so the powder stays on. And after a few minutes, I just remove it with the brush that I showed you earlier. But those are my favorite affordable brushes. There was only one that you cannot get at the drugstore, which is the Morphe one. But other than that, all the other ones, you can find them somewhere online, and also at the drugstore. You can go to Walgreens and find it there, go to Walmart, find it there. Like I said, you can also find these, a lot of these, the majority of these, at Ulta on the drugstore side that they have. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for requesting it, and also let me know in the comment section what type of videos you would like to see next, because like I always tell you, I always want to know what you want to watch, so that way I can film those videos for you. And that is it for this one, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.